were.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not.
No, I'm not. The closed pit.
Yeah, closed pits. Yeah, command.
I have not a clue. Okay. Probably about 5 minutes. Let me let it run through twice. Just so I started thinking about it, I'm like, I think that'll probably be a better, intro versus the 9 So it's like I think it'll be names to run through, and just so that people can see who's already.
If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll leave the window open, baby. Leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to only for the night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll leave the window open, baby. Leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to You know it, you know it, for someday. You know it, you know it, for someday. You know it, you know it, for someday. You know it, you know it,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Richmond, Virginia for round number 6 of the iRacing Sim NASCAR Fever Cup Series right here on the iCaster Racing Network that is powered by iRacing. And I am Mike Taylor up in the booth with the one, the only Rhea Ferris. And we have some fun, exciting racing for you guys here today. So without further ado, let's get to it. Miss Rhea, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, a lot better than last week, and hopefully all the men and women, boys and girls, are all ready for a good show here tonight under the lights of Richmond. As this race will progress into nightfall and get dark on us, so some of these paint schemes out there will pop tonight under the lights, and we'll hopefully put on a good show. And I know it's really slick out there because it's very hot, very, very hot. It's hot just about anywhere you live in the United States at this moment, and Richmond, Virginia is definitely um, no exception to that.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weather today. We are looking at wind speed at 5 miles an hour. Um, Air temperature is 87 degrees, and that makes our racetrack 101 degrees Fahrenheit. So as of right now, our track is hot, hot, meaning it's going to be loose, loose. But hopefully, as night falls, these race cars will get tightened up as we move along. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at our race information for today. Would you like to take it over?
Yes, I have the Old Dominion 200 for us today here at Richmond, and it's round number 6 of season 10. And we are here in Henrico County, Virginia, for this event. Hopefully, it's a sellout for us here in the grandstands. And we're going 200 laps, 150 miles today. Stage breaks are very weird, very odd today, and that's actually quite normal for iRacing. I'm sorry, for NASCAR to throw weird stage breaks at Richmond. So we're following that weirdness here in ISNF tonight. Laps 35 and 115 are your weird stage breaks tonight. 35 and 115. So something that we normally don't have for numbers in that column. Your max incident limit is unlimited tonight. 0 fast repairs, 60% fuel, 4 extra sets of tires sitting there on the pit wall ready to go when they come in. And we are racing the Richmond default fixed setup here tonight. The Echo Park restart zone is turned on tonight for everyone. And 3 green white checkers rather, if we get that far into the mix. Auto cautions are off tonight, which means admin only, which means that myself and some admins in the race will use our eyes to determine if it was a worthy of a caution being thrown for that wreck or not, and preferably only pile-ups, not single car spins to the inside off the racing groove, just to keep the flow of the racing going and avoiding the unnecessary eye pacing that a lot of people hate. It is super hot out there, as I aforementioned earlier. Upper 80s, near 90 degrees, light breeze, mild humidity, and partly sunny out there. And let's see here that we have a defending winner, Courtney Nelson, from 2 seasons ago. We did not race here in season 9. Hometown hero is James Bowles from Richmond, right here in the city of Richmond. So, and then we have number of cup races at Richmond for the ISNF Cup Series is 8 and 8 different winners. So my question and my McNugget, I guess if you will, quote unquote, is 8 races at Richmond, 8 different winners. Will the streak continue, or will we have a first duplicate winner? So, curious to see how that unfolds. Our average cautions for this event is 16, and our average lead changes is 11. Notable subs tonight: Michael Giberson in for Steven Sear in the 5 car. Scott Trusty is in for Miguel Rangel. Scott Trusty is a debutant here tonight, making his very first ever ISNF Cup start. Dakota Orndorff is in for Brian Chu in the 11 machine. And Jacob Treat is in for Michael Half-Leedison in the 16. Actually, and I think if Matty Moniak makes the race, he's subbing for Michael Gervey in the 35 car as well. That was a last-minute change. Top 5 favorites to win tonight. I got Dylan Bazin in the 42 car, Mark Gonzalez, last week's winner, and Justin L. Johnson in the 22 car, Josh Grosso in the 23, and Charles Roberson in the 20. So 2 Fords, 3 Yodas on that favorites to win list. And then we have Christian Delgado as a dark horse pick. So I'm going Team Penske, Team Gibbs camp tonight for drivers to make noise out on the racetrack. And I think, with those picks, I think, we're probably pretty safe here to see one of those guys in victory lane. Taking a look at our points, I know that Justin Barkley is still up at the top of the board. You can see that information. I cannot. So if you want to kind of run down through that for our audience, because I obviously can't see it.
Yeah, that is not a problem. I could definitely run down through that for you. So sitting on top of the point standings is currently Justin Barkley in the number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing with 202 points. Angel Hernandez sitting there in the number 45 for 2311 Racing, followed by Mark Gonzalez in the number 2 for Team Penske. Fourth in standings currently is Chris Otto in that number 6 for RFK Racing. Nick Miller in the number 99 for Trackhouse will round out your top 5. Jim Weimer in the number 60 for RFK will be in 6th. Steven Sire in the number 5 for Hendrick will be 7th. Alyssa Sharp for RFK in the number 17 machine is sitting 8th on the board. Michael Halflindason is for the number 16 of Colleague Racing. And rounding out your top 10 is Brian Chu in that number 11 machine for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, and you were mentioned to me earlier. You got a pit report from down low on the 17 of Alyssa Sharp. And what was it that you found out about her potential here tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I have spoke with Alyssa earlier, and she is very excited for tonight. She said that she is very strong here on short tracks, and she had a very good dominant performance a couple weeks ago over at Iowa until she started to, having misfortunes and getting taken out. So she's looking forward to tonight here at Richmond with the track being a little bit slick, how she kind of likes it. So she's very excited to get Richmond going so that she can just prove how tough she is right here on the short tracks.
Awesome. Well, that's some new information, and it looks like Mark Frimpong just came in as well, unexpectedly. I guess some of these new drivers don't understand that they have to get with the sanctioning body prior to signing up to race, so that way they have the ability to plug in their information prior to the race. But at least he is in the right car, and so if you are listening to the broadcast, or if you watch it later and you're a new driver, or if you are new or want to be new coming into the league, make sure you get with myself or Chris Otto before coming into the session, because we run realistic liveries here, true to NASCAR and true to the sport of the Cup Series even. So we try to make it as realistic looking as possible, especially for the broadcast here. If you do want to join the ISNF Cup or Xfinity Series, you can do so at isnfleague.com. That's isnfleague.com. And there is a picture of a Discord there, and just click on the Discord, and you can join that way. It'll bring you straight in. Just announce who you are, fill out the form, and we will do our best to get to you and get you in a car. We don't have full-time rides available at this time. We're pretty packed in the Cup Series. However, we do have some Xfinity rides open for sure, and you can always sub in the Cup Series. So I'm about ready to go round and round, Mike.
I am absolutely ready. I'm very excited for this. As we take a look here at Emily Uris in that number 47 NOS machine, as she is completing her first time lap to see where she can place herself on the leaderboard here, as she takes the white flag here, and that will put her 21st. So far this is a tough start here for Emily. Let's see if she can get it a better lap time put in here on her second lap as she comes through turns 3 and 4. And she will take the checkered flag, and she will move up to 16th. So that was a much stronger qualifying session there for her in that final lap.
Yeah, and the 22 of Justin L. Johnson's finally back out there as well. He had to relocate here recently, so he had a few weeks off for that. He's finally back in the saddle full time, ready to go the rest of the season. He had a pretty strong showing at Daytona. He didn't get the results that he deserved, but I am excited to see what that 22 car can do here today after a huge hiatus from Justin. But so who do we have on the top of the standings board? Or I'm sorry, the leaderboard here for qualifying as of right now?
Dylan
Dylan Bazin in the 40.
in his
Yeah, in the
second
42
start.
car. Yeah, the second or third start. I know, me being out of state and with not having my second monitor to do some of the stats might be outdated on there for a week or so old. So just so you know, Mike, going into that, forgot to tell you that some of that information is needing to be updated. But for the gist of it, yeah, he's rather new to the league, and looks like Craig Lautenslager is second quick out there. Alyssa Sharp is holding true to her word in pre-race report. She's third quick. Maddie Forns is fourth, and Nick Miller is fifth quick out there. So as we get ready to wrap up qualifying here momentarily, we'll see if Dylan Bazin can hold on to that pole position and give Legacy Motor Club possibly their first pole of the season. I believe so. And looks like we are about to go into the grid now. Okay.
Beautiful. And with that being said, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm excited here. And as these cars begin to get lined up, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid for the Old Dominion 200 right here at Richmond Raceway on. Wait, give me one moment here.
Yeah. We'll go over the starting grid here in just a second.
Oh, is there like a little warm up beforehand?
The,
Oh no, they're moving. That's very awkward. Okay, so
it is, yeah.
on the pole,
Yeah, they're holding.
wait a second.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go over the starting grid.
Oh no.
It looks like actually I don't think we can because everything got messed up.
So you are seeing the same thing I am.
But all I did was hit grid set. For some reason, it screwed up the starting board. So okay.
Yeah, because right now I'm showing James Bowles in that number 24 machine on the
Yeah,
pole,
and he shouldn't be.
and that would drop. Who should be on the pole? Of Dylan Basin. He's still down on pit road. So I got.
So yeah, I don't
Wait
know
a
how they're
second.
gonna fix this. This is gonna be interesting. Some people are stuck in the pits,
Yeah, and
so we have to let them go green in order to allow them to get out of the pits. And then there might be several wave rounds or something involved.
yeah, because I'm showing that they are going green right now. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes. Yeah, they're going green right now. And then Chris Otto and them are going.
All right.
And anyone who has a black flag will.
We apologize about this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a glitch
Yeah.
in iRacing or a glitch in our systems. We're not sure exactly what's going on, but what a good way to get ready for an interesting run right here at Richmond as your ISNF admins and race control get it all sorted out. Are we going to try to get these guys lined up in the correct positions to get this thing underway?
Yeah, and I apologize too that we don't have the start that we deserved. Someone hit advanced session right before I hit grid set. And I'm not sure how they must have accidentally tapped the keyboard or something, but it got hit as advanced session. Then I hit grid set, and grid set wouldn't work because somebody had already hit advanced session.
Right.
So that's crazy. So yeah, they're going to play shuffle board out there.
And well, while we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid here, ladies and gentlemen. If it will let me pull it up now. Alright, so I'm going to have to do this based off of the qualifying results page, which is alright because we're still looking at the same information here. Alright, so starting on the pole, it will be that number 42 of Dylan Basin. And all this is gone messed up here too. But we will deal with what we have currently. So here we have Dylan Basin in the 42 with Craig Lattenslager on the outside in that number 77 machine. Alyssa Sharp in that number 17 will be inside row 2 outside row number 4, you have Maddie Forns in the number. Where's Maddie Forns?
I don't know. Um,
Yeah, there he is. Yep, in the 01 machine. Nick Miller in row number 3 in the number 99. And to his outside is going to be Tony Fry in that number 41 machine. Row number 4, you have James Bowles in the number 24 with Justin Barkley on the outside of him in row 4 here. Row number 5, you see Will Bussier in the number 62 and John Hopley will join him on the outside there. Joshua Grosso will be on the inside of row number 6, and Charles Robertson will be on the outside in row 6. Inside row 7, you got Joey Maines and Chris Bishop. Chris Otto, Andrew Miller in row number 8, and we are getting ready to go green. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and the green flag is now out officially here at Richmond Raceway. As we see here, you can see James Bowles in that number 24 machine still out front, followed by Craig Lautenslager. And then right behind, here comes Will Bussier in the number 62 machine, working his way on the outside of that number 20 of Charles Robertson. And they are now here running side by side here for that third spot. And we have trouble behind him with Justin Johnson in that number 22 machine, and hard contact with
22
the 7.
is around.
Yes. And hard contact by the 7 and the 3 of Eric Jorgensen and Philip Manzo as the field catches up with them. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened with Justin Johnson. Heading down into turn 1, he got help by the 56 and the 48 a little bit, and he came to a complete stop. And then the 7 car just comes piling in along with the 3 car. Heavy contact for the 7 and the 3. Unfortunately, they will have to come down pit road to get repairs done on their machines. Tough a break for Justin Johnson in that number 22, who has returned from being MIA for a little bit. And we do welcome him back, but definitely not the way that he wanted to start. So I want to keep my eye on a couple people here, and I think you can agree here with me. One is Alyssa Sharp, who is sitting back in that number 27 spot currently, in that number 17, and Dylan Basin in the number 42, who is sitting in the 17th spot at the moment. These were 2 drivers that were supposed to be up front at the green, but they said it's okay, we'll start here where we are, and I'm excited to watch these 2 drivers climb to the front of the field. It's going to be tough work, but they've got just a little under 190 laps remaining to do that. So we will see what happens here.
Oh.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go green here once again as our pace car comes down on track, and it is back in the hands of James Bowles, and we are back underway here at Richmond. They will now dive here down into turn number 1 and 2. James Bowles slips up the track a little bit, opening up the door for Craig Lautenslager as we have major contact in the back of the field. Huge pile up. Multiple cars involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus cars involved on the exit of turn number 2. And it looks like some of these drivers are having issues trying to pull away. Let's come back and take a look and see what happened. Let's take a look here at Eric Jorgensen. See, that was the crash beforehand. Let's see if we can find here what happened. Here we go. Now I'm getting to the correct one. Alright, it looks like this one here started off with Jacob Treat and that number 99. He got turned off the 16, and that just left nowhere to go for these remaining drivers. We have Jacob Treat involved, Emily Uris involved, Alyssa Sharp was involved, Nick Miller, Jeff Weimer, Bob Wyckoff involved, Larry Fairman involved, amongst others. Let's come back here and take a look and see what happened here to Alyssa Sharp. As she was coming out, she got rear-ended there. A lot of jockeying for positions there. And let's ride on board with Nick Miller here, see what he saw. So he originally got turned, and it was just pure chaos from there. Very unfortunate here for quite a few drivers. Let's ride on board here with Bob Wyckoff and see what he saw coming out of turn number 2. He just got a little bit sideways, backed it down, and he did get into the wall. But he should be pretty clean there. So that is definitely very unfortunate for a lot of these drivers. Alright, so we are getting ready to go back green here with the 24 James Bowles letting it rip out of the restart zone. And we are back green flag racing. Better jump this time for James Bowles as the racing behind him continues. Side by side for the 62 of Will Bussier and Charles Robertson as they run side by side. Now it will be the 21 of Cody Meadows now attacking on the outside of Will Bussier. And it looks like he will get around the 62 with no problems. So that was 2 passes in a row that we saw drivers run that middle lane to get passes done. Will that change how these drivers will race this race early on? As we take a look here.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and hopefully fix this. I don't know if I can, though. They just might have to just deal with it.
And that is a word from your race control, and we are back under caution here once again. as it looks like Zach Phillips Sr. Spun it around. Let's take a look here, see what happened. Oh, he got a couple love taps there, heading down into turn number 3 there. So let's take a better look here. Zach Phillips in the 88 got into the wall and then just couldn't keep the car going straight. And he will just back it into the wall there. I believe that was the right call there for Zach Phillips. As we take a look here at the field, heading out of turn number 2 and here on the front straightaway.
All right, I need to go for a second. We may be restarting the session.
You may be restarting the session.
Yeah, it is too hard to remake. People are. Hold on a minute.
No problem. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, just bear with us here for just a moment as we try to figure out what we are planning on doing here because of that total mess up at the beginning of this event. And while we're waiting to get a hold of it, let's take a big overview of this beautiful race circuit here. As we see these cars currently pacing around. So from what I am understanding here, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to possibly reload into a different session and get these drivers in. As you do see them start to line up double file here on the front straightaway, heading down into turn number 1. But we will continue status quo until we hear different. So with that being said here, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. We are going to get this going here once again as they get ready to come here out of turn number 4. Back in the hands of James Bowles. And we are green once again, side by side. Once again, a really good start there by James Bowles. And here comes the number 20 of Charles Robertson making his way on the inside of of Craig Lautenslager. And we have huge crash on the back straightaway. Multiple cars involved. The 6 is involved. The 12 is involved. Absolute mayhem on the back straightaway once again. Let's go ahead and go back, take a look, see what happened here. As we see the 21 getting loose, the 41 getting loose. Just pure chaos here. Down the back straightaway. Let's take another look. The 11, 56, the 6, the 21's involved. At the end, this all might just be okay as we wait to hear back from race control. Alrighty, and they are going to double up this time by. That means we are going to go green flag racing once again. So far, that inside line on these restarts is the line that you do want to see. As Fred, our pace driver, pulls the pace car off, and it puts it back in the hands of James Bowles in that number 24 machine. And we are green flag racing once again. And here comes that number 62 of Will Bussier coming, looking for the inside, but the 20 of Charles Robertson will hold it very well on the outside and keep that spot. And the 23 of Joshua Grosso is starting to fall back as the number 42 of Dylan Basin is making his way back up front. 3 wide heading into turn number 1. Side by side, William Basin or Dylan Basin in that 42 machine will try to take over that number 3 spot as he runs side by side with Will Bussier out of turn number 4.
Okay, so the latest from the booth here, we are going to close this session and we're going to relaunch for 160 laps with a new qualifying.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard it, we are going to close out this session and reload into a brand new session. And so they are going to bring these cars down onto pit road. And we will be back here in just a few minutes to get things restarted here for the Old Dominion 200 right here on the iCast Racing Network. And we will see you here in a few moments.
If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And down with the window open, baby, leave my key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just about 15 minutes or so to get this restarted. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the slideshow and get to know your drivers of the iRacing Sim NASCAR Fever Cup Series. We'll be back momentarily.
You know it, you know it, for someday. You know it, you know it, for someday. You know it, you know it. If you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll leave the window open, baby. Leave my key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to belong. Only for the night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll leave the window open, baby. Leave my key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to You know it, don't know it. You know it, for someday. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for someday. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for someday. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for someday. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for some. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for someday. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for some. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for someday. You know it, don't know it. You know it, for some. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll leave the window open, baby. Leave my key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to belong. know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For some. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for a night. And I let the wind blow, baby. Leave my key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be loved. Only for a night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for a night. And I let the wind blow, baby. Leave my key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For some. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For someday. You know it. Don't know it. You know it. For some. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for a night. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for some. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for some. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll let the wind blow, baby. Leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to belong. Only for the night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll let the wind blow, baby.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to do our next set of qualifying here at Richmond. If you have any friends out there that is racing this event, please make sure that they are in the session and get ready for qualifying. If they are not in the session and do not race, then they will not get any points or anything, and they will not get a provisional as well. So please just make sure your favorite driver is in the session, and we will catch you guys here in just a few moments.
You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for some. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for someday. You know it, the Lord. You know it, for some. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. If you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll let the wind blow over, baby. Leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be loved.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Richmond Raceway, right here in the beautiful Richmond, Virginia. We do apologize about the a little bit of issues that we just experienced, but we are ready to rock and roll. So we are going to do 160 laps here today, and we are going to start with our qualifying session right now. So let's get these drivers out on track. And we are going to keep our eye here on Dylan Basin as he put down a phenomenal lap time in the last session. So we are going to sit here and watch him, see what he can do here. As he comes out of turn number 2. And he will come out to finish his first lap. And we're going to ride on board with Dylan here, as he puts down a lap time of a 21.77. As he comes out of turn number 4 now, he will take the checkered flag. And that will put him back on top of the leaderboard. A lot of these drivers are finishing up their practice session, qualifying. Let's catch up here with the number 4 of John Hopley. In the number 4 beautiful paint scheme this week for Miller Tech. I'm absolutely in love with that beautiful paint scheme. John Hopley out of South Lancaster, Ontario. He is a senior veteran here in ISNF. And he will come out of turn number 4 to complete his second lap. And that will put him 20th on the board. Andrew Miller in that number 54 Sirius XM Toyota will bring it out of turn number 4 for his final lap here as well. And he will stay in 16th on with that qualifying attempt there. Nick Miller in that Quicker State number 99 machine will come out of 4 and bring it to the checkered flag. And he will move all the way up to second with a 51.59. That was a good lap there by Nick Miller in that number 99.
Yeah, and it looks like Dylan Bazin will be in the top spot once again for this session. So, and we apologize for everything earlier this evening as we had some technical difficulties, some rain delays, and lightning. So we had to red flag the race and pretty much re-rack them, restack them here for the new session and this next round of racing. The only thing that's changing is going to be your qualifying order here. The stage breaks will remain laps 35 and 115. Any driver who did not restart after the red flag into the new session will receive 0 points tonight, unfortunately, as well as no provisionals unless you got with the first session about any issues going on in your household. So again, we apologize for any delays and things like that, but unfortunately Mother Nature struck here and we didn't want anybody to get hurt stands with the lightning in the area. So we are going to be re-racking them and stacking them here. I'm excited for the 160 laps that we do have. And it should be a good race out there. Should be a lot less cautions, a lot less wrecks and things like that. So we're hoping for a better show. Thanks for sticking with us, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button out there, as it does help the channel grow. And we will definitely make up for some lost time here, as I know a lot of people are itching to get to the real life NASCAR race that starts in a little over an hour. And hopefully we can get this thing underway and declare a winner soon here at the ISNF Cup Series. Round number 6 of season number 10, as looks like Dylan Bazin will go ahead and remain on that top spot. And Nick Miller will be second quick out there. We'll go over your starting grid here in just a moment, as soon as the time is up on the session counter, which I believe is only going to be about 4 or 5 seconds. And I'll take them from the top here as they grid. I know you did last time, so I'll go ahead and duty from that one. So it looks like Dylan Bazin will be back on top. Nick Miller will start P2. Tony Fry is in the row number 2, and Charles Roberson is starting to his outside in P4. The Canadian Will Bussier out of Quebec will start in the 62 machine in P5, and Justin Barkley will start P6 in the 19 car. Matty Forns will start 7th. James Bowles will start 8th, and Josh Grasso will start 9th. You got Craig Lautenslager rounding off the top 10 in the number 77 machine. Cody Meadows starting 11th. Chris Otto 12th. Chris Bishop 13th, and Mark Frimpong will start 14th. Christian Delgado and Justin L. Johnson make up row number 8. Joey Maines and Alessa Sharp will start off row number 9. Andrew Miller, Angel Hernandez round up your top 20. Then you've got Jacob Treat, Jeff Weimer, and Emily Urias, as well as John Hopley, Scott Trusty, and Zach Phillips will round up your top 26. Larry Fairman starts 27th. Philip Manzo will start 28th. Eric Jorgensen in car number 7, he starts 29th. Mark Gonzalez 30th. Davey Hendricks, Dakota Orndorff, Matty Moniak, Michael Giberson, and Chris Van Mastrick round out your top 35. Mike Iskandar and Bob Wyckoff will start P36 and 37, shotgun on the field. Failed to qualify and will receive 0 points for this event is car number 43 of Shane Griffin, unfortunately, not able to get back in the driver's seat for this one. So he will miss out on points. And the 10 car of Danny Solo will still receive his provisional from earlier, because it was communicated. So we're about to go ahead and start racing, guys. 35 and 115 are still your stage breaks, and it should be exciting here to watch the rest of it.
Absolutely. I am stoked and excited to get this thing underway. A lot of good racing happening right before our weather issue today. And so we've decided we're going to go ahead and stack them up, line them up, do it all over again. As the field gets that 1 to go signal from our amazing flagman Barney. And Fred will lead the field here out of turn number 2. And he will pull down to pit road. And we're going to get this thing underway. Dylan Basin up in that number 42 machine. Very strong last week. He's looking to do it again this week. And pace car is off. And we are going green for round number 6. Here at Richmond Raceway for the Old Dominion 200. And we have Major Checkup in the back, and they are side by side here, trying to go 4 wide here in the back, 3 wide. Back here with the 22 of Justin L. Johnson as they get it all sorted out coming out of turn number 2. And they will come down here to turn number 3 for the very first time. And they continue to run side by side and get things somewhat organized here at Richmond. We are seeing a lot of good side-by-side action early on in this event, especially back here with Justin Barkley in that number 19 and the 41 of Tony Fry as they come out of turn number 4, keeping it nice and clean, keeping everything nice and straight. Exactly how we like to see it. And we do have our first caution. First caution is out.
Yeah, I'd like to see who that was.
It looked like it would be the 71 of Chris Bishop. He got turned by the 22 heading down into turn number 1, and everybody was able to miss him. Really good driving for those in the back of the field to miss the sliding of Chris Bishop in that number 71 Workforce Chevrolet. So really good job there. Chris Bishop out of Yorktown, Indiana.
So auto cautions are on now. It be due to the amount of raindrops that were contributed earlier from everything. It messed up the scoreboard, so we have to have auto cautions on for the remainder of this race. So hopefully we're not going to be spending the rest of the night pacing. Hopefully there's going to be more racing instead. And we shall see how this is all going to play out as everybody is going round and round here. How's all the schemes looking out there tonight there, Mike? Everybody make it over with the wraps and liveries from the old session?
Absolutely. It looks like everybody is rocking the correct paint schemes.
Good.
Yeah, so we got the 42 and the looks like it's the Pie Baker.
Yeah, Pie Barker, I believe,
Pie
or something like
Barker,
that.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. And then we have the 99 in Quicker State. DeWalt
Yep.
for the 20, Bass Pro Shop 19, Haas for the 41 machine, Liberty
Yep.
University for the 24,
And
Fortify.
no, it's not that. It's not that Liberty. It's not
No,
that one.
it's the
Sorry.
Liberty University.
I do think that Liberty Mutual should make a car, and it should be all yellow, and it should have the emu on it. I think it would be super cool. It would be a somewhat subtle reminder of the Aflac car that Carl Edwards used to run with the duck on it.
Yes, and that
Uh,
would be awesome.
Yeah, and so instead of having the duck have the emu on there, and Doug on there, saying vroom vroom or something, I think that would be pretty sick. But
Absolutely. That would be very interesting and fun to see. Alrighty, here we go. Pace car is off once again, and we're going back green to complete lap number 7. And it is in the hands of Dylan Basin, and we are green flag once again here at Richmond. A good, decent start there for Basin that time. And looks like Charles Robertson is looking on the inside of the number 99 of Nick Miller. And we have one hard into the
Josh
wall.
Brasso hard into the wall. 22,
Wow.
And then there's another pile
Huge
up after
pile
that.
up.
The 88, the 16,
The 77 is involved.
77 is involved.
The
71 actually.
The 2 is involved.
Yep.
Very, very hard hit there for...
Oh, the 23 car went straight in to the outside retaining wall. thank God for safer barriers, and thank God this was a simulator moment, because that 23 car hit that. Yeah, he hit that turn so hard. I don't know what happened. Did someone get in the back of him?
That is a very.
In other words, did he have help?
It looked like he did have help from the 56 machine, and then behind him, the 16 looked like he got loose, and
Okay.
that of Jacob Treat, and that's what looks like started the whole pile up there on the back straightaway. Yeah, he got loose, then came down. The 88 got loose as well. 16 collected the 71, the 2, the 35, I believe that is back there. So a lot of good cars involved here early on. And that was a very, very hard hit there for the number 23 of Joshua Grosso.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for him. He was one of my picks to actually win. So I don't think that's going to happen now. Looking at the damage of the 23 car, that is pretty well toast. And unfortunate for Josh, because he needed a good points day tonight, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, that is definitely very unfortunate there for him. And let's go ahead and remind everybody of who your picks were.
And I do believe I picked Dylan Basin, and I was spot on with the speed that he's carrying tonight for sure. Um, and then the 20, I believe, of Charles Roberson. I don't know if I put him on that list or not.
Yeah, you got the 42, the 2, the 22. You've got the 88, the 20, and then the 12 was your dark horse.
Gotcha. Yeah, and the 12 definitely looking for his first career win ever, and um, ISNF Cup Series. So hopefully he has a solid night, as the pace car lights are off, Mike, and they're going to be ready to take the green here once more at Richmond, and hopefully we'll stay green for a while longer.
Absolutely. And here comes Dylan Basin into the restart zone. And we are green here once again. And this time a better run there by Nick Miller in that number 99. He's able to try to work his way onto the outside, but unable to make it stick. So he will drop back behind Basin. But here he comes on the inside, heading down into turn number 3. And he holds the momentum, slips up the track a little bit, but he keeps it off the 42 as they run side by side down here on the front straightaway, heading down into turn number 1. Incredible racing right here for your race lead, side by side. Dylan Basin and Nick Miller continue to run side by side, finally get it sorted out. As we have another caution, it looks like it'll be for Michael Giberson in that number 5 machine, along with Philip Manzo in that number 3 Winchester machine. Let's go ahead and go back and take a look and see what happened.
Looks like the 5 had help by the 4 car of John Hopley, and the 3 car just a victim of circumstance with nowhere to go. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage to the 3 car, but that does look like there could be some minor damage to that 5 car, the way he hit the wall. However, the wheels are still turning in the right direction, so the 5 probably will be able to get some early damage fixed and get back out there to salvage some points. Of course, Michael Giberson in for Steven Sear tonight, driving that number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. So we do appreciate our subs out there tonight. I know we do have a handful of them out there. Michael Giberson is one of them, doing a fantastic job trying to hold up the fort here. Unfortunately, the 4 car had other plans for him in that turn. So hopefully the 5 car can rebound here and salvage a good finish.
Absolutely. So with these subs, how does that work for your points as we're just pacing here under caution for the moment?
Yeah.
Does the actual drivers, do the subs get the points for the race, or does that transfer over to the main drivers?
So for the subs, subs get their full driver points, and then the car owner points remain the same and stay with the car owner. And then for the drivers who are normally assigned to the ride that are out this week, they get 2 paid provisionals per regular season to use, like kind of like floating holidays, if you will, at your job or place of work. And it's use them or lose them. And you can only use them during regular season, as I said, and it's based on your series average. So the longer you're with the league, the more data we have, the more accurate that number is going to be, and then you get points based on where you would have finished average wise. You do not get stage points or any promotions that we have. Sometimes we have for like your crown jewel events where there's like an extra bonus for paint schemes or um, things like that. They will not get those, but they will get their at least their series average. So um, if your average finish is 13th and it'll be worth, say, 24 points, that's what they would get. And again, they can only use it twice. So if they're out a third week somewhere during the regular season, they don't get any points at all for that. The subs do get all the points, but the subs also don't run enough to where they're going to ever be able to get into the playoffs. So answering that question before it even arises is that if for some reason, um, say, a sub wins a race, they would need to no longer be a sub and then assigned to a full-time charter in order to be eligible to take that win that they did have and apply it to a playoff berth scenario. But we're going green again, Mike, and
Oh, we are back under caution.
back under yellow.
And it looks like it's
Wow, that was
times.
the 47 is involved,
Yeah, yeah,
and as
Emily.
well as the 35.
Yep, it looks like Maddie Monik and Emily Uris is involved here. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened on the exit of turn number 4. Just looks like hard, clean racing. Oh, the 35 got loose and came down in front of the 47 and then backed right into the back rear tire of that 47 machine. So tough break there for the 35 and 47. These drivers have got to keep in mind that there's not much green flag racing just yet. So these tires are still trying to get warmed up, even though we are roughly 21 laps into this event.
Yes, and it's unfortunate that we don't have the admin cautions, because that one would have been just an admin caution. We would have been able to stay green. Those cars would have been able to gather it back up out of the infield and continue on without any further incident. So this is unfortunately, an eye pacing scenario, which is not what we were wanting for sure. So
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's just one of the toughest things about Richmond Raceway. I actually just had this conversation back with another league that I do broadcasts for. Um, Richmond was their second race of the season, and it was absolutely just a nightmare of a race simply because it's just the way that Richmond runs. It's a very tough track because of how slick it is, especially with it being so hot at the moment. So that does not help whatsoever. But there's other tracks out there that I like to call the eye pacing tracks. Um, Richmond is one of them. Phoenix is another one that usually is, back to back to back cautions. And believe it or not, Pocono Raceway is another one that I feel has a lot of cautions because simply because of those long straights before those corners, a lot of drivers try to dive bomb down into them, and it just usually doesn't end up well. So that's one of my top 3 tracks that I do call the iPacing tracks.
Yeah, yeah, and it's unfortunate that we do have a few of those. Yeah, Bristol, Martinsville, and Richmond. Sometimes Darlington can be that way as well, though. The Coke 600 sometimes is a little troublesome too. But anyway, I digress. Hopefully, we can go back under green here without further incident because neither one of us like iPacing.
Absolutely. I definitely don't like it. You don't like it. I promise you, these
No.
drivers don't like it. And the race leader, Basin, he decides he's going to jump to the outside for this restart and see if he can get a better run on the 99 of Nick Miller as they come out of turn number 4, and we are green flag. The 99 spun his tires a little bit, and that's going to allow the 19 of Justin Barkley to get side by side, but he rockets down into turn number 1, and he is now running side by side with Dylan Basin for that race lead on turn number 2. Basin does able to get back out in front of him as they are looking to go 3 wide behind him with the 77 and the 41 Tony Fry, as they now dive once again here into turn number 1, and they are 3 wide behind him. The 56.
Yeah, Mark Frimpong in the 56 is trying to push it 3 wide. Yeah, he's getting pretty aggressive early on here. Getting pretty impatient too. So
Absolutely. This is just one of the reasons why, I call this one of the iPacing, is because even though it looks like it's a wide track, it really is not that wide, simply because of how the banking works in these corners.
yeah, it is very shallow banking, and it's a lot flatter than your typical short track, if you will. So Richmond is a wheelman's racetrack. It always has been and always will. And it's one of those racetracks that will change as it goes dark as well. So something to keep in mind as the shade starts casting over the racetrack from the grandstands, and we transition from day to night. So something obviously to keep track of. It is still hot out there. We have a spin.
Tony Fry.
It is the 41 of Tony Fry. And unfortunately, that would have been another admin caution, which we would have avoided. Single car spin to the inside off the racing service and right back to.
Absolutely. Let's go back here and take a look.
Instead, we're going to I-pace. And, yeah.
As he came out of turn number 2, it looks like he did get help by getting into the side of that. I didn't catch that number. The 21 machine. As we take another look here, he gets a little love tap and then side by side, and then he got help off the front bumper of Alyssa Sharp in that number 17 machine, and Tony Fry hits the inside wall from Toma, Wisconsin, and he will get it fired up and bring it back around, possibly come down to get some damage fixed on his race machine. As I say that, here he comes, coming down pit road. Early on, Craig Lautenslager, he is down here on pit road, possibly getting some damage repaired on that number 77 machine. Lautenslager, I have fun saying his name, Lautenslager, out of New Zealand. But he was up towards the front there for this race.
Yeah, so looks like the 22 is going to pit under this round here. So 22 coming in the pits, and as well as Michael Iskandar in the 1 car coming in as well.
Yes.
Or he was anyway. Let's see if he's...
No, I'm showing that he is out on track at the moment.
Okay, because it... Okay, alright. Maybe that was just old news then.
I mean, that's very, very
22 car
possible.
is sitting down on pit road though for an extended amount of time. And 38 is in the pits, as well as the 60 of Jeff Weimer.
Somebody I want to
So,
touch up on here as we get the Wendigo signal this time by is that number 62 of Will Basier for Beard Motorsports. He's out of
mhm.
Quebec City, Quebec. The last
Yep.
few races, we haven't really seen too much of him near the front in that number 62 machine, but he sure is putting on a show for Beard Motorsports today up here in the top six.
Yeah, and underfunded up here in the top 10. The 56 machine be another kind of, sorta in that ballpark as well. So a couple of open nonetheless in the top 10. So that is interesting. You're right. That's a really good nugget to chew on. As the pace car did drop back down onto pit road rather. Mike, they're going back to green.
And they are green, and Dylan Basin gets a better jump that time. And Nick Miller quickly gets right behind him onto that yellow line as there is battling going on behind him between the 24 and the 20 of James Bowles and Charles Robertson side by side for that fourth spot. A lot of move. The 20's going
20,
around.
he
He
saved it. He
saves
saved
it.
it.
What an incredible save by Charles
That was
Robertson.
incredible. And a, but there's a
Oh,
caution
there
anyway.
is the
And what is
caution.
it for? What?
I am
Oh,
on.
is that for stage? That's for stage.
Oh, that is for stage on lap 35. I
Yes.
I mean, I
And it's
guess
again, it's really weird because NASCAR does some weird numbers for Richmond as well. So that's why we're doing the, because it's like it's like really spread out for the real life Cup Series Richmond race. So
right. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't
so
lie. I would have gladly taken the stage break there back on the last caution, so
I
that we could have
agree.
stayed green.
I agree. I mean, that was one heck of a save by the 20 car. And as I mentioned earlier, it is a wheelman's race. And Charles Roberson is exactly the definition of a wheelman, as well as Angel Hernandez. The guys are fantastic behind the wheel. So if there's anybody that can save a race car out there, it's going to be one of those two drivers. So commendable save by the 20 car. Dylan Basin, he does win that first stage, by the way. Nick Miller comes in P2. Justin Barkley third. So as a lot of cars that were electing pit for the stage break. Any takers on the free pass for this one? Anybody getting the free pass? Let's see. Maybe Philip Manzo in the 3 car, or
That is very
yeah,
possible. You know, I do wish that was one of the informations with
I agree.
with our overlay system that we do use, which is SDK Gaming. Is if there, I wish there was a way to show us who is the lucky dog. But with
Yeah,
my kind of luck, it's probably there, and I'm just totally missing it. So that's actually a good question. I'm gonna throw into their chat. So again, well, with that being said, let's go ahead and throw a big thank you to SDK Gaming, who is associated with Apex Racing. Thank you guys so much for your awesome overlays that you guys have. I enjoy them, you know, like no tomorrow, and I just found a new feature today. So I get to play with that new toy, which is this one right here for the driver subs. And so now I get to have fun and play with it and make things look even more better for you guys, our viewers, right here on the iCast Racing Network. So,
oh, and it shows, I guess, a driver is saying that the top 5 favorites to win the race is still showing up on the broadcast.
is it really?
Yeah,
I
one of
must
the,
have did a double click on that one, you guys. My bad. Thank you.
yeah, we anything that we can be better on, guys. just let us know. We appreciate the call out on that. Because sometimes a second set of ears or eyes will come to our attention, and we'll be able to fix that as we go back to green.
Yes, and we are back green flag racing here. Dylan Basin in that number 42 machine still out front, but here comes the 99 trying to make a move on the outside, unable to make it happen. But he goes to the inside, heading down into turn number 3, side by side. He cannot hold it down there, and the 42 just gets a lot better momentum out of the corner. So it looks like the 99 of Miller will once again have to buckle down and just sit behind as we have another caution out, and it looks like it's going to be for Christian Delgado.
Oh no!
And that's number 12 machine for Team
Did he have
Penske.
help? Is my next question.
Let's go back and take a look as we ride on board coming out of turn 4. He looks like he just got loose, and he was fighting that wheel like no tomorrow, and he just lost it out of the corner. Let's come back, take one more look. Yeah, he just lost it right out of turn number 4. And he buckled it down, kept it down below the yellow, and luckily he did not come back up in front of all the other drivers. That
Yeah.
would have been crazy thing to see with all those cars coming flying down that front straightaway.
Indeed. Indeed.
Indeed you do. I'm sorry. Let me tell you what, if I hear a slogan and I can continue it, I will. It just happens.
I'm like that with movie quotes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of fun with that too. Like if I hear something, you know, and if I can run with it, I will. Especially when it comes to Hamilton. If I hear a Hamilton quote, I'm gonna finish it off. I'm sorry. It just blubbers off my mouth without me even trying.
Yep. And we still have. Has anybody tired from this session yet? Let's see. Josh Grosso and Maddie Forns look like the only 2 drivers out. Dakota Orndorff electing not to quite take the start of the race, but yeah, nonetheless, I think we're in pretty good shape here still overall.
Absolutely. And
I
I
need to
just
step aside for just a moment. I will be back as soon as I can, and then we will continue on.
not a problem. And I just want to throw it out there, ladies and gentlemen, with the real life NASCAR Cup Series getting ready to go green here within the next hour. We do ask that you keep the spoilers out of our chat. I'm excited for it just to see, you know, who's going to take it home here at Richmond as well.
I
So,
guess there's another over. It says the overlay is still on blocking info.
which
I don't know what that means.
you are seeing.
That's Mark Gonzalez is pointing it out in the Cup Garage right now. That the broadcast is. It says the overlay is still on blocking info. I don't. Unless it, I mean, we always use the driver information.
Yeah,
So that should still be all you see.
yeah.
So-
The driver info is there, as we
Yeah,
do go back green flag racing here. As they stack up behind them, and they are able to keep it all moving straight. And the 35 gets turned of Matty, and he keeps it straight off the wall. But more trouble out of turn number 4. The 88's around, the 20's around, 35, the 47 is around. A lot of good drivers has just looped it coming out of turn number 4. And unfortunately, we are back once again here under caution. Let's take a look here with Emily Uris in that 47 machine as she got involved there. The 88 of Zach Phillips Sr. Hard hit there for him. The 34 gets a hard hit. The 20 is up against the wall with the 35. Other than that, it looks like all the drivers have pulled away. So that's a lot of unfortunate situations for a lot of these race drivers. As you see Zach Phillips Sr. now bringing that number 88 WeatherTech Chevrolet down onto pit road. Along with the 77. He's down here on pit road as well. A lot of good drivers involved in that incident right there. And it all started off with the 35 getting loose in the middle of 3 and 4, tagging the wall, straightening it out, and then everybody just let it loose out of turn 4. And we are going to catch back up here with our race leaders, Dylan Basin out of Lakeland, Florida. We should be getting the 1 to go signal this time. Nope, we will stay 2 to green. And next time by, we will line them up to do it all over again. John Hopley in that number 4 machine, he's up there in the 3rd spot. He has gained 21 spots since the drop of the green flag. So he is very strong early on in this race. Another one that has climbed a lot is the number 15 of Davey Hendricks in that Arby's Ford Mustang. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. He's gained 23 spots since the green flag dropped. Eric Jorgensen in that number 7 Spire Motorsports machine. He's gained 20 spots here since the green. Let's see here. Jeff Weimer in that number 60 machine. He's gained 17 spots. Mark Gonzalez in the number 2. He's gained 18 spots himself. So a lot of big movers early on in this race. Let's see if these guys could keep it up as we're going to get ready to come back to that green flag. As you see, Justin Barkley is going to join Dylan Basin on that front row. As we are back green flag racing, Basin gets another good jump, and that's going to allow Barkley to get right behind him as they run side by side behind him. And here comes John Hopley up, trying to get that 3rd spot away from the 21 of Cody Meadows, but Meadows is holding it strong there on the outside. A lot of momentum is able to be held on that outside line as Meadows completes the pass for that 3rd spot. And we are under caution once again for Chris Otto in that number 6 machine coming out of turn number 4. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Chris Otto. He was sitting 3 wide coming out of 4, and he got helped by the 2, and he was just not able to collect it whatsoever. And everybody was able to miss him, including Andrew Miller, who went down through the infield grass to get around and stay out of trouble himself. So that was somewhat of a smart move to allow them to move around if needed to come down on the track to avoid that spinning car of Chris Otto. I want to take a look here at the number 99 of Nick Miller as he went from second back here to 14th. Just taking a look here to see when he last pitted. And it looks like he did come down that last caution. So that's why he's all the way back now in that 13th spot. And John Hopley in that number 4 joined him up on the front, or on the restart there. Justin Johnson in that number 22 machine has worked his way back to the front. He's currently sitting fourth in that Shell Ford Mustang right there for Team Penske. So far, this is a good turnaround for Johnson as we are working lap 56 of the event. Chris Otto came back down pit road to get more damage taken care of on that machine there. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a look at our top 5 at the moment. Is going to be starting with the 42, Dylan Basin, Cody Meadows in the number 21 machine, John Hopley in that number 4 machine, Justin Johnson in that 22, and rounding out your top 5 will be Jeff Wimmer in that number 60 Kroger machine. Wimmer having a really good race so far here at Richmond as we get ready to go green here once again. Basin is in the restart zone and he'll take off, and Hopley gets a decent start as well, but Meadows had just that little bit more of a momentum and he will pull out in front of that number 22 machine as they come down here, heading down into turn number 3 and 4. Alyssa Sharp making her way towards the front now, looking for the top 6, and we are back under caution once again. And it looks like Zach Phillips Sr. in the number 88 machine had issues again with Craig Lautenslager. Let's go back and take a look here, see what happened. 3 wide racing as they exited turn number 2. The 3 got into the wall, and that shoved him down into the 77 of Lautenslager. Unfortunately, Philip Maenzo bounces off the wall and gets down into the 88 of Zach Phillips, who in turns takes it down into Craig Lautenslager. That is very unfortunate for these 3 drivers. Zach Phillips having a lot of issues so far today, unable to remake his way back towards the front of this pack, but he's definitely giving it all he's got. I just want to point out Alyssa Sharp. She has made her way from the 5th, or from right about the 17th spot, 18th spot, and she's worked her way all the way up here into the top 5. A really, really good run here so far for Alyssa, as she stated earlier today that she loves short track racing and she was looking forward to today's event. And so far, she's keeping true to her word. She's very dominant so far here early on. I'm excited to see what she can do once she catches up with the number 42 of Dylan Basin, your current race leader. And he has currently led, I believe, almost all the laps. As we inch closer to the finish of this race, these drivers will come out of turn number 4 and begin lap number 62. So we're going to have just about 98 laps remaining when we do go green flag. And these drivers here should get the 1 to go signal from Barney, our flagman. And there it is. And they will line it up. And it looks like Dylan Basin, he will go to the outside of that number 21 machine of Cody Meadows. Justin Johnson in that number 22 machine will line up behind Basin. And John Hopley in that number 4 machine will be on his inside, starting in that 3rd spot. Let's take a look and see what these drivers can do this time. We are waiting to see if anybody has anything for Dylan Basin in that number 42 Toyota Camry as they come into the restart zone, and the green flag is in the air. And this time, the 21 had a decent start, and he will fight Basin for the lead here down into turn number 1. But Basin just has that better outside run, unable to complete the pass, and Meadows will stay there in the 2nd spot. And the 4 is possibly going around. John Hopley saves it and then gets tagged once again. And huge trouble here on the front straightaway. The 24 is around James Bowles. He's around. The 16 is in the wall. The 4 of John Hopley finally was turned on the front straightaway. So he will fall all the way back to just about the 32nd spot. Let's come back here and take a look. As you see, the 62 gets turned, the 24 is turned, and then the 4 gets turned there by the 16. So we had just about 5 or 6 cars involved in this one. A lot of good cars once again involved here, as these drivers now will pull away. As we take a look here at the 62 of Will Basir, who is now back in that 31st spot after having a very strong performance early on in this race. As we will come back up here and we'll catch up with our race leaders. Cody Meadows had a pretty decent restart that last time, so we will see what he can do heading down into turn number 1 when we take that green flag here once again. And just remember, we still have one more competition yellow coming, and that's going to be at lap 115. So we are coming up a little bit closer to that here, as well as time keeps on ticking. As the field gets the 2-to-go signal, we would like to thank simracerhub.com so much for their partnership right here with the iRacing Sim NASCAR Fever series. The series owner are really good in cahoots here with the simracerhub.com management, and they've been able to work out a deal. And those guys over there do one heck of a job with their website that they have. A lot of good info can be stored there from your races. A lot of information, point standings, your race, your schedule for your races, everything like that can be found there. It even has kind of like a little record book keeping there as well. As you see, these drivers once again line up here on the front straightaway. So once again, we want to thank everybody for over at simracerhub.com for everything that they do. So go check those out. Check those guys out. Once more, it is simracerhub.com. As the field now comes down into turn number 3, Fred, your pace car driver, will turn it back over to that 42 of Dylan Basin. As we come out of turn number 4 into the restart zone, And we are green here once again at Richmond. A really good start there, but a big stack up behind the 21 of Cody Meadows as the 22 gets a run on the inside, and the 17 is around. Alyssa Sharp spun it out, but she keeps it straight, but she will fall all the way back to the 21st position at least. So now she has to work her way back up, and the 47 is hard into the wall. That was a very hard hit for the number 47 machine of Emily Uris, as that will take out her engine on that number 47 NOS Energy machine. Let's go back and take a look. As she comes and gets a little tap from the 9, and that just shoots her hard into the outside wall. And then Latin Slagger had nowhere to go in that number 77 machine. That is very, very unfortunate there for Emily Uris in that number 47 NOS Chevy Camaro for Hayek Motorsports. As you see, she will be down on pit road. And it looks like currently she has climbed from her race car, and she's going to get checked out by our track medical personnel. That makes two really hard hits right here at Richmond, ladies and gentlemen. Again, kind of bounce off what Rhea said a little bit ago. Luckily, these cars are virtual race cars, so you cannot feel the hits that you would normally feel in real life. And I promise you, some of those real life hits are really hard. And as we learned last week at Watkins Glen, that even doing a victory celebration can even has issues. And so here at the ICAST Racing Network, we definitely wish Connor Zilich a very quick recovery. And hopefully we'll see him back behind the wheel here in the next couple weeks. As we take a look here, still here with the number 21 of Cody Meadows out of Martinsville, Virginia. He's had more than one start here with the ISNF Next Gen Cup Series. So don't let that cup stat fool you right there. Cody Meadows is a very fast, strong driver, as he was last week. And same with the newcomer Dylan Basin. He had a very strong race last week, and he's looking to have another repeat of last week. As the field here will come down to turns 1 and 2, and we will go green next time by with 86 laps remaining. Meadows had a very good, strong run last restart, so he is hoping to keep it going that way. So as long as he stays right there side by side with Dylan Basin, he has the line that you want to be in for these exits as they come through, and Dylan will bring them back to the green flag. But Dylan gets a lot better jump there as they are looking to go 4 wide behind him, and the 60 gets a love tap, goes up the track, but they will keep it facing in the right direction. That was crazy as we have trouble back in the back. Hard impact for the 12, right across in front of the 24 and 1 machine. Big major contact for Christian Delgado in that number 12 body armor machine as he gets another love tap from the 1 in post incident. But Christian Delgado, he is not going to be able to move that number 12 machine, so he will need to get a wrecker to come out and pick him up. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened. As they come out of turn, the 41 got turned by the 12. Hard impact in the 12, as you guys saw right there live. He came back right in front of two other cars, the one and the 88 respectively, I believe it was. Major contact for these drivers. Delgado looked like he got the worst of it there, and that might have him be retiring for the event. As he had to tow his number 12 machine for Team Penske um, back to pit road. Delgado out of Abilene, Kansas. Hard hit for him. He got removed out of the vehicle, and he will go and get checked out by the medical personnel before he possibly returns back on track. It does look like we currently do have quite a few drivers out of this race for the time being. Starting with Emily Uris in that number 47 machine. 33rd will be her finishing spot. Maddie Monick in that number 35 will be 34th. Maddie Forns, he will be in 35th in that 01 machine. Joshua Grosso in that number 23 machine will be 36th. And Dakota Orndorff in that number 11 machine, he will not start the event to begin with. So as of right now, just a handful of drivers out of this race, and a couple of them taking extremely hard hits. As our drivers will line up here once again, and when we go back green, we will have 81 laps to go. Dylan Basin has been having a phenomenal start each and every restart. So let's see if he can do it again here, heading down into turn number 1. And it is in the hands of Dylan Basin as they come out of turn number 4 into the restart zone. And we are back underway. As expected, Basin gets out to a decent lead. And here comes Justin Johnson in that number 22 machine for Team Penske, getting onto the inside of the 21. Gets a little bit sideways, and he will slide all the way back to 4th as Nick Miller makes his way to the inside of the 21 of Cody Meadows, looking to get that second spot as he gets loose, and the 21 gets loose as well as they go 3 wide behind him as they go extremely wide. The 15, the 60, 45 respectively, all 3 wide as they get themselves sorted out, and they will go double wide down into turn number 3. That 56 is looking to make some noise up here as well. Mark Frimpong out of Blacksburg, Virginia, having a decent run in that number 56. As I say that, he gets turned, and the 15 is around, the 2 is around, the 48, the 60 is around, the 2's involved. And there's that commentator's curse. I am so sorry about that, Mark, as I come out giving you good vibes and some much needed love in that number 56 machine. I hate to see that happen to you. What a good strong run it was for Mark Frimpong in that number 56 Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats Toyota Camry. Let's go back, take a look, see exactly what happened. Here we go. As you see even more trouble back here with the 8 and the 77 that we did not see before. So Scott Trusty in that number 8 machine was involved in that one as well. Angel Hernandez, hard impact to that inside wall. You see the 4 around, the 9 around. At least another good 10 cars involved here on the back straightaway. as we see Tony Fry in that number 41 HaasTooling.com Ford Mustang getting service on his machine, along with Charles Robertson in that number 20 DeWalt Toyota Camry back there, getting a lot of service done on that machine as well. Chris Bishop in that number 71 machine has worked his way all the way up here to the 6th spot. Alyssa Sharp in that number 17 Fifth Third Bank sponsored Ford Mustang. She has worked her way back up to the 10th position after she got caught up in a couple wrecks there, early on in this event. But there's still a long way to go with 75 laps remaining this time by. Still a lot of racing left, and we're hoping to get this racing done here as quickly as possible.
Yep. As we were about halfway, aren't we? A little past halfway.
Yes, we are just a little bit past halfway here as the cars do line up.
And it does look like we're going to be transitioning over to nightfall pretty soon.
Absolutely, and that's when these cars are going to look their best. Just a reminder, as the Real World NASCAR Cup Series race at Richmond is about to get underway, please do not post any spoilers here in the chats on both YouTube and Twitch, because we don't want to see them. We don't want to know what's going on as our pace car, it pulls off, and we are going back green flag here at the virtual Richmond Raceway. Once again, a really good start and a good push by that 99 of Miller going down into turn number 1 as the 21 runs a little bit wider than normal, and that will allow that 22 car to get on his inside as they continue to run side by side for that 3rd spot. A lot of contact going on behind them as the 22 and 21, they touch down the front straightaway a little bit and heading down into turn number 1. Meadows currently has the position, but Johnson wants to take it away from him. Johnson making his way back up front after that early spin. So no matter what, ladies and gentlemen, here at Richmond, if you've got a fast car, you can come back up as we see a big crossover by Meadows, and he gets that 3rd spot back heading down into turn number 1. What an incredible move there by Cody Meadows in that number 21 machine, as he lost a 3rd and then he retook it with all his might heading down to turn 1, number 1. But here comes Johnson once again back to his inside as they dive down to turn number 1. And back down the back straightaway they come. They are still side by side. We are seeing an incredible race, and a little tap there by the 22. And the 21 of Meadows will slide up the track a little bit, and he will lose 2 more spots on that, as Jacob Treat in that number 16 machine for Colleague is going to make his run and try to knock. As he goes around, what a save. The 7 is around.
Hits the inside retaining wall on the backstretch.
And we will stay a green here at Richmond. That was incredible racing going on there as we move back towards the front of the field, and it looks like everything's side by side currently, but here comes the 21 of Miller trying to get on the inside of that number 50. I'm sorry. Meadows trying to get on the inside of Andrew Miller in that number 54 machine, as he will complete the pass heading down into turn number 1. Meadows does have a lot of work to do to get back towards the front of this pack, as he now moves himself back up into that 5th spot, as your leaders for the first time pretty much get single file and spread out here on lap number 94 of this race, as these drivers are fighting for position. We have the 41 of Tony Fry and that 71 machine of Chris Bishop running side by side for that 10th spot. I'm sorry, for that 11th spot. And it looks like Tony Fry will gain over that, or take over that position as they come out of turn number 2. Zach Johnson in that 22. He is, hard hit by the 8.
71 car of Chris Bishop, yeah. Let's find out what happened to him. Was it a self-spin?
Yep, it looked like something possibly broke on that 22 machine, as he had like a small little twitch, and then he got completely sideways.
22.
Yep, and then the number 8 machine, not sure if he had nowhere to go, but he comes in and slams into the back of the 22. Yeah, they were still racing pretty hard, even though the caution came out, and he just slammed into the rear end of that number 22 machine. As we have
So the 8 car just completely annihilated Arca Break, the 22 machine.
yes,
Under caution. Yeah, that was interesting how that came to play.
absolutely. And you mentioned something about the 1?
No, I was the 71.
71.
Had a self spin right around that same exact time frame. So as the 22 and the 8 were doing their thing on the opposite side of the track, I believe the 71 was doing his thing.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that one is not showing up for me. But as we take a look here at
Nick Miller is going to be the top dog on this restart. Is that true?
that's right. The number 99, he will inherit the race lead, as it looks like your race leader Basin is back to 5th. Did Basin just pit? That's very interesting. So I'm not seeing here where he pitted in our race control notes. Oh, yep. Here it is. It looks like, yeah. No, that's too far back. For P3. Yeah, something must have happened while we were taking a look at that incident happening, that your race leader fell back all the way to 5th, as Miller brings us back to the green flag, and both drivers get a little help from the people behind them to get going, as the number 99 and the 21 both spun their tires on the restart there, as they run side by side here for a second. But here comes Dylan Basin of that number 42 machine, looking to get onto the inside of that of Barkley. But as of right now, Meadows is in the way, holding them all up, as Meadows finally clears Barkley, and here comes Basin to the inside, looking to overtake that 3rd spot to come back up towards the front of the field, as we continue to run side by side throughout the rest of the field behind them. And there goes Basin making that pass on the inside as they come down the back straightaway. And he'll currently try to go to the outside of Cody Meadows, but he's not able to make a run on that outside, as he taps the wall and he looks on the inside to go for that 2nd spot of Cody Meadows. And Meadows trying to hold him down, pitch him down on that yellow line to hold down his momentum. For the time being, it is not working, because here comes Basin down into turn number 3. looking to overtake that second spot out of turn number 4 as they continue to run side by side. Basin still trying to get that position as Meadows will fall back to that third spot out of turn number 2. And now Basin, he will keep his eyes on Nick Miller in that number 99 Quaker State Chevrolet as he continues to pace this field around Richmond. Let's go back a little bit further into the field and catch up with Zach Phillips Sr. in that WeatherTech Chevrolet as he's getting a lot of pressure on him by the 77 of Craig Lautenslager, as Lautenslager has a little bit of radio communication there that he's trying to get sorted out with his race team. So these fellow drivers just need to be a little bit aware of their surroundings as they continue to run side by side right here for that 8th spot. And the Jeff Wimmer almost gets into the back of the 88 there, and that will allow the 41 to get a run on Wimmer. Tony Fry on the inside trying to make that pass for the 9th spot, as the 60 will pull out in front of Tony Fry as they continue to run side by side in front of him. And these, I'm just watching on our leaderboard, Craig Lautenslager and Zach Phillips Sr. just keep swapping positions, and I'm counting at least 20 swaps throughout one lap, which is only a half mile here at Richmond. While we were watching that, we do have a race battle for the lead here. You see Dylan Basin on the outside, Miller on the inside. Basin wants it. Miller's not letting him have it, and it looks like Basin is going to try to make it work around that outside. And early on, he is one of the only ones to be able to make it stick on the outside, as he will clear Miller there out of turn number 4 down to turn 1. And Miller puts the bumper back to Basin, and he will get a run on the inside heading down the back straightaway. Now we know Miller is not going to be afraid to use that bumper if he needs to, as he slides up into the side of the 42 at a turn number 4, as these two drivers continue to run side by side for your race lead with 50 laps remaining in this event. As things start to get settled down, the weather starts to cool down, the track starts to cool down, that's when all the true racing, I think, is we're going to see a lot of more passing and more settlement as the night falls here at Richmond. Basin in that number 42 machines continues to lead this field as they enter down into turn number 3. Nick Miller just hanging out behind him for the time being. Let's come back here towards to where just about where Alyssa Sharp is in that number 17 machine in that fifth third bank Ford Mustang, as she's comfortable right now in that 6th spot. And let's come back here and catch up with Craig Lautenslager out of New Zealand. He is trying to make his way back up towards the front of this field after being involved in, I think, 2 of the last 3 cautions that we have seen. But he's having trouble getting around the 88 of Zach Phillips Sr. in that number, WeatherTech, as we have a spin on the back straightaway. It looks like that would be Jacob Treat hit the inside wall in that number 16 Alloy Chevrolet, but we will stay green flag racing. Now we have a caution, and that is going to be our second stage caution. That was a really good few lap run there. They got spread out, and I think we're going to start seeing everything start to get spicy as the lights come on here at Richmond Raceway. As you see, everybody coming down pit road to get service on their machines. And Dylan Basin, he will lead them down here on the pit road. The question is, who will stay out? Who will come in? And it looks like Chris Bishop in that number 71 machine and Eric Jorgensen in that number 7 machine. Both of these drivers will stay out. And with those two drivers out, that will continue to leave the number 62 and 8 cars a lap down as they come down for their chance here down on pit road. So your new race leader will be Eric Jorgensen. As we come around to get the 2 to go signal, I believe. As we have some of these drivers head out of pit road. Eric Jorgensen out of Louisville, Kentucky. He has gained 27 spots since the start of this green flag race. And he will bring them to the green flag with just about 41 laps remaining. So we are now getting down to the nitty gritty here. Dylan Benson, he will restart in that number 4 spot, followed by Nick Miller, Alyssa Sharp, Cody Meadows, Andrew Miller, Craig Lonslager, and Michael Giberson. They will round out your top 5. So your top 3 drivers are going to be the sitting ducks, and everybody else behind them will have 4 fresh Goodyear tires. As we look inside of these race cars and we get a good glimpse at these drivers' eyes as the nightfall approaches here at Richmond. And it is now in the hands of the 71 of Chris Bishop, and he will bring him back to the green flag. He gets a decent run. The 7 does not, and they are 3 wide behind him as they dive down into turn number 1 with the 42 and 21. But here comes the 99 of Nick Miller looking to the inside for the race lead. The 21 is around. The 88 is around. As caution will fly here once again. And this time it is for Cody Meadows, one of our strongest racers here tonight. He has looped it coming out of turn number 2. And let's come back here and take a look and see what happened. As they just kind of got stacked up in front of him. And the 88 misses him ever so slightly. But everybody, for the most part, will come away nice and clean. And it looks like we have Alyssa Sharp coming down pit road after she just stopped for service on her machine. So this is another on-schedule stop for Alyssa Sharp. The 16 of Jacob Treat is here on pit road as well, getting service done on his machine. Philip Manzo in that number 3, Mark Gonzalez in the number 2. They are both getting work done on their machines. Will Busier in that number 62 machine. He's on pit road getting service done along with Bob Wyckoff and that number 9 machine, and these guys will go 1 or more laps down. As Nick Miller will bring the field to the green flag in 2 laps, and we will have just about 36 laps remaining in this race. And just a reminder for all of our viewers out there, as we get the one to go signal here at Richmond, the real life version of this race is happening right now. Please do not put in any spoilers in our chats, as a lot of these drivers are going to go back and watch the real life race afterwards. So again, please do not put in any spoilers, and that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much. And let's get back to the action here. Nick Miller in that number 9 Quaker State Chevy will bring them to the green flag with Chris Bishop in that number 71. But Dylan Basin in that number 42 is on the inside of row number 2 as they get the green flag, and Miller will pull away as they come down this front straightaway. And here comes Barkley looking to the inside of the 71 early on in this run, as we have huge contact between the 7 and the 54, and they go 3 wide. The 7's going around on the back straightaway. Hard hit. A lot of drivers going into the wall. The 21's involved. The 6 is involved. Caution is out once again here at Richmond. Once again, a lot of good drivers involved in the incident. And it looks like Chris Otto in that number 6 machine, he was also involved. As you see, all kinds of heck breaks loose on the back straightaway with the 7. 38 comes down into the 21, down into the 6. The 38 scoots by, the 3 scoots by, the 48 machines goes by, and the 7 is up there stuck in the wall. A lot of unfortunate situations for a lot of these drivers now coming down pit road to get damage fixed on their machines. As you guys saw, the 2 car of Mark Gonzalez coming back down to get more service on his machine. Gonzalez out of Fort Worth, Texas. He got caught up in that one on the back straightaway just now. Eric Gorgeous, why can I not say his name now? Jorgensen out of Louisville, Kentucky in that number 7 machine. He is back down on pit road as well. And Cody Meadows in that number 21 machine, still getting some final damage taken care of on his machine, and he will pull out back on track with Philip Manzo in that number 3 machine behind him. And we're going to catch up here with the field out of turn number 2. As we do have these drivers coming down the back straightaway. Alrighty here. We are got the one to go signal this time by, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to get this thing going once again. Nick Miller on the inside of row number 1. Dylan Basin on the outside of him. Justin Barkley in that number 19 machine will be on the inside of row 2 with the 71 of Chris Bishop on his outside. The number 5 of Michael Giberson making his way back towards the front. And Andrew Miller in that number 54 machine will round out your top 6. And we are green flag racing once again here at Richmond. The 19 gives the number 99 of Miller a really good, Nick Miller, a really good push into turn number 1. And that's going to allow him to run side by side with Dylan Basin for that second spot. But here comes Basin for that top spot. He really wants to get back out in front. And all these, and the 54 is up in the wall. And he will keep it up in the wall. But we're going to stay right here with your first 2 Basin finally got himself around Nick Miller of that number 99 machine. So these guys are going to be straightened out. Let's drop a little bit further back here as we see more action going on with the 77 of Craig Lautenslager and the 60 of Craig Weimer as he's on the inside trying to overtake Craig for that 6th spot. But they are continuing to run side by side as they dive down into turn number 3. A little bit of contact behind them between Alyssa Sharp and Zach. And Alyssa Sharp is going around. The 45 is going around as well. Angel Hernandez is down on inside the grass. And it looks like that is going to be it for this one. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to these two drivers. I may have jumped a little bit too far here. Which I think I did, yeah. A lot of contact amongst some of these drivers. So we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Let's go ahead and come back here. As you see, Alyssa Sharp, she did get a little help from the 45 to go around, and both of them are able to keep it off the wall. That is very unfortunate there for, once again, for the 17 of Alyssa Sharp and the 45 machine of Angel Hernandez. As you see, these drivers continue back out here on track. As we catch up here with Justin Barkley in that number 19 Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats Toyota Camry, currently sitting in that 3rd spot. It's been an up and down day for Justin Barkley out of Tampa, Florida. He's been involved in a few accidents himself, but he's been able to climb his way back up to that 3rd spot, which is a pretty good run for him. The 71 of Chris Bishop, again, holding it strong up here up front after having issues early on. Same with Michael Giberson. He is filling in for a driver, and he's doing pretty good there in that number 5 machine after going around very early on in this event. So he's back up front here. Jeff Weimer in that number 60. He's been making himself known up here. Somebody we haven't really spoken much about is Chris Van Mastrat out of Muskegon, Michigan. In that 38 machine, he's bringing his car up here into the top 13. He's looking to break through into the top 10 here as we get doubled up here once again for another restart here at Richmond. And in 23 laps, just remember, we're going next week. We're going to go under the lights at Daytona. So I'm excited for next week. Daytona, is one of my home tracks. Just about 20 minutes from me. As Basin starts to have some radio connection himself, as he disappears a little bit, and we are green flag racing. And with him having radio issues, that kind of jumbles up the field just a little bit. But the top 3 get it themselves sorted out real quick as they come out of turn number 2 here. As we have a lot of action going on, 3 wide behind them with a lap car. But they're able to keep it nice and straight. As we have another caution come out. And this time it's going to be for Chris Van Mestrich. And that number 38. Once again, I'm not going to start singling out any cars because the commentator's curse has hit once again. And this time it was for that 38 of Chris. heading down into turn number 3. He got turned into the outside wall by the 16. And that is very unfortunate. He got turned by the 16 of Jacob Treat. So for now on, I'm not going to call out if they're having a good race or not. I'm just going to let these guys run it out for the last, 18 laps here. So I'm just going to sit here and look pretty, not say, no, I'm kidding. We are going to set this up to be probably just about a 19 or 18 to 19 lap shootout when we go back green flag racing here at Richmond Raceway. Oh, I misspoke. Next week, we are actually going to go to the Windy City of Chicagoland Speedway. So you don't want to miss that one, ladies and gentlemen. Chicagoland always puts on a really good race, no matter what series it is. So we are going to go to Chicagoland Speedway for the Windy City 200 next week. Right here on the iCast Racing Network, powered by iRacing. As these drivers will now line up here once again. And they will go back green flag racing with 18 laps to go. Hopefully things will get settled down here and we can complete this thing in one last sweeping push. And your pole sitter of Dylan Basin will lead the field back to the green flag with Nick Miller still to his outside. And we are green flag once again here at Richmond. And this time Miller gets a better run on that outside. And he will do his best to keep it side by side, but unable to keep it there. So he will fall back. And we have a spin. The 5 is around on the back stretch. The 5 of Michael Giberson bounces off the inside wall, but we will stay green as we catch back up here with our race leaders. Justin Barkley here in the 3rd spot, trying to track down Nick Miller and Dylan Basin as they continue to run side by side. And we have more contact in the back. We got the 16 around of Jacob Treat. The 4 is around. The 3 around of Philip Manzo. The 38, Chris Van Mastrich, he's involved as well. Very unfortunate situations here for a lot of these drivers. Bob Wyckoff involved as well. Let's go back here and take a look and see what happened out of turn number 2. They were trying to go 3 wide in front of him, and Wyckoff got turned by the 3 and turned the 3 up into the 7. 38's involved once again. Very unfortunate situation here on the back straightaway. As you see these drivers attempting to go 3 wide. It's not going to work here at Richmond. And once again, this will bring out our caution. A hard hit there for the 3 car. As you see, Jacob Treat for Colleague Racing will bring that Alloy Employer Services machine back down to pit road to get service on it. Really a tough breaks for a lot of these drivers in the closing laps of this race. Right now, we're just playing with survival of the fittest at this point. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 3 green white checkered attempts. Hopefully, we will not have to use them, but they are there if we do need it. And we should be getting the 1 to go signal this time by Dylan Basin in that number 42 Toyota Camry out of Lakeland, Florida. This is just his second or third start here with the iRacing Sim NASCAR Fever Series. And he's been putting on a dominant performance since he came here. As you see, Nick Miller is staying way back, but he's got to get caught up to the outside of that number 42 machine. As he does get side by side with him, going to try to keep him nice and steady here as they come into the restart zone. And they are away once again here with 12 laps remaining here at Richmond. Side by side. This time Miller is staying right to his outside, not letting him go. As he's really wanting that spot out of turn number 2. They are still side by side as they jumble up behind him. Miller knowing this is going to be it. This has got to be his time to go. As everybody behind him is thinking the same thing as they start to run, 3-4 wide back here for these third through fourth or 4 through 10, stuff like that. As they run side by side, they touch out of turn number 2, heading back down into turn number 3. The 4 slides up and gets into the 45. Ten laps remaining here, ladies and gentlemen, as you see the 45 of Angel Hernandez going side by side with Charles Robertson in that number 20 machine as they slide up through turns 3 and 4 as we have action brewing all around. The 45 gets a tap into 1 by the 88, and the 88 is going to attempt to go around the outside. 3 wide out of turn number 2. I don't know how they kept it straight, but they did. That was incredible driving by all those drivers involved right there. Let's jump back up here with the 77, the 60, and 21 as they go 3 wide right here for that 3rd spot, 5th spot. As they start getting it all figured out back here. A lot of movement going on, and we do have an issue with the 4, John Hopley, in that number 4 Miller Tech Ford Mustang. He got turned heading down into turn number 3. Let's go back, take a look, and see what happened out of turn number 2. Coming down the back straightaway, the 5 just came down just a little bit and got into his rear bumper, and it hooked him straight into the outside wall. John Hopley out of South Lancaster, Ontario, will get that machine facing straight here once again. Looks like Zach Phillips in the number 88 might have had a little bit of an issue here. So we're just coming back here to see what happened with him. Oh, as cars stacked up coming out of turn number 2. Things are going to start to ramp up for these drivers as we will have just about 4 laps to go. While we go back, green flag racing. We did not get the one to go signal that time by. So we will have just about 3 laps remaining. What is Nick Miller going to have to do to be able to outrun Dylan Basin and that 42 car who has been strong all race long? And it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen, right here at Richmond Raceway. Dylan Basin, Nick Miller, Justin Barkley, Cody Meadows, 4 of your fastest drivers all race will now duke it out for 3 laps as we will bring them down to the green flag. This time by, we have some stack up happening behind them. Let's make sure everybody is looking good here for this restart. Joey Main's involved in quite a few incidents himself. Out of Kego Harbor, Michigan, he is settling down into that 16th spot, but let's go ahead and bring the field back to the green. Nick Miller looking to take over that race lead here on the restart, and Basin will bring them into the restart zone, and that was a better run there for Miller as he was able to stay on the outside here heading down into turn number 1 with 3 laps to go. Contact between your race leaders. Millers will slide up high, and they will go 3 wide down the back straightaway here for the second spot. The 19, 21, and 99, 3 wide for that second spot, as the 21 will push up the track a little bit, and he will allow the 19 of Justin Barkley to get around him, and Miller will hold it there in the second spot. 2 laps to go. Here they come down the back straightaway. Nice, clean and green so far as they dive down to turn number 3. The 19 is still looking for that third spot. The white flag is up in the air. The next flag will end it right now. Dylan Basin out of Lakeland, Florida. He will lead this field through 1 and 2 for the final time for Legacy Motor Club. And we have trouble on the back straightaway. Zach Phillips will go around. And here comes Dylan Basin in that number 42. Checkered flag for Dylan Basin out of Lakeland, Florida. Nick Miller will bring it home in second. And a lot of issues, a lot of things going on here post-race between the 88 and the 20. Major contact post-race between the 88 and the 20 as the 17 of Alyssa comes piling in, and so does the 5. I'm not sure if this is a little bit out of love or what is going on there, but there was a lot of movement there in the last couple of laps. Let's come back here and try to figure out, see what happened with some of these drivers. 54 slides up the track. There's the 88 out of the corner, and that'll be the checkered there. Looks like the 88 got loose out of turn 2. Came back up into the 17, into the 20. So Alyssa goes around. The 20 continues to move forward. And that is why the 20 and the 17 were both upset with Zach Phillips in that number 88 machine. What a finish to this race, ladies and gentlemen. But we will give it up right here for your race winner of Dylan Basin. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's come and see if there's anybody here that is ready to be interviewed. We have Justin Barkley currently in chat waiting for us. So let's go ahead and bring Justin Barkley up here to the booth in that number 19 machine. Justin Barkley, this is Mike Taylor up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
I do.
Justin, you had a very up and down day in that number 19 Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats Toyota Camry. Can you tell us about your day and what your thoughts were on the final restart there?
Well, that's absolutely the worst racetrack on the circuit. I hate that racetrack. Um, but yeah, it was up and down. Just luckily I finished with a 0x as well. I don't know how that's even possible. But the last restart, I knew I didn't have nothing forward to 42, so I was just trying to manage my third position there. Him and Nick were way too fast, so I'm definitely happy with the P3.
Absolutely. Yeah, Richmond Raceway is one of those tough tracks. We were calling these, or I call them, one of our I pacing tracks, along with two others here on the iRacing service. But other than that, did your day go a lot better than expected?
Oh, absolutely. I usually never finish a Richmond race. I usually wreck within the first 10 laps, but I did some adjustments and finally figured out how to drive the track in the two practices we had.
That is awesome. So next week we are going to head over to Chicagoland for the Windy City race. What are your thoughts for going into next week in Chicago?
Unfortunately, next week I do love Chicago, but I'm going to Daytona, so I will not be there.
Alrighty, well, make sure you just swing by Orange City on the way up here to Daytona and say hi to me on your way through. But I will go ahead and let you go. Justin, thank you so much for joining us here, and congratulations on your P3.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that was Justin Barkley, driver of the number 19 Bass Pro Shop Toyota Camry. It looks like currently there's nobody else in our winner circle waiting to be interviewed. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and throw up your race results here. Beautiful. There they are. And taking home your win today is going to be Dylan Basin in that number 42 machine, followed by Nick Miller in that number 99 machine. Put off an incredible run today. Justin Barkley again in that number 19 machine. He was excited to even finish a race here at Richmond, so congratulations to Justin on that. Cody Meadows will bring it home fourth in that number 21 machine. Craig Lawton Slager will bring it home fifth, and that will round out your top five. Jeff Weimer in that number 60 machine. He will finish sixth. Seventh will be Tony Fry in the number 41 machine. And then Charles Robertson in that number 20 Toyota Camry will come in eighth. Zach Phillips Sr. had a good recovery race there and bring it home in ninth. Andrew Miller will drop all the way back to 10th after having an incident issue on one of those restarts there. Let's see. Chris Bishop in the number 71. Angel Hernandez in the 45. Michael Giberson in the number 5. Chris Van Maastricht will be in the 38th. Will come home 14th. And Jacob Treat in the 15th spot will round out your top 15. Will Bussier in the number 62 will round out your top 16. 17th will be Joey Maines in the 48 and John Hopley in the 18th spot. And then we have Alyssa Sharp coming home in the 19th spot in that number 17 machine. Philip Manzo in the number 8 will come home 20th. Mark Gonzalez in the number 2 will come home 21st. Eric Jorgensen will come home 7th, or I mean in the 7 come home 22nd. Bob Wyckoff in the number 9 will come home 23rd. Scott Trusty in the number 8 will come home 24th. Chris Otto in the 6 will round out your top 25. Justin Johnson in that 22 with that late incident dropping him all the way back to the 26th spot. Mark Frimpong fell all the way back to the 27th spot.
Yep, all the way to P27.
Yep, to 27th. Larry Fairman. I'm showing Larry Fairman here is finished in the 34th spot. And then,
I'm showing 29th on my screen for Larry Fairman.
yeah. So I'm having two different iRacing results here between those two drivers. That must mean those two drivers were neck and neck at the line. And so iRacing and SDK Gaming can't agree, so that's how they have it. But you have Larry Fairman as 29th, so we will go with that. And Davey Hendricks will be in the 28th spot in that number 15 machine. James Bowles will be in the 30th spot. Mike, was it Iskander? Askandar in the number Iskandar. Come on, Mike. Iskandar. In that number 1 car will be 31st. Christian Delgado in the number 12. Unfortunately, he will finish in 32nd. Emily Uris with a couple hard hits today. She will finish in 33rd. Maddie Monick will be 34th in that number 35 machine. Maddie Forns in the 01 will be 35th. Joshua Grosso will be in that 36th spot. And rounding out the field with a did not start was going to be a Dakota Orndorff. And that will round out your field today, ladies and gentlemen. And before we do head out, do you have any final thoughts of today's race?
Yeah, too many cautions. Next time that they try to advocate for auto cautions on at a short track, they should think twice about that, because if the admin cautions were on, this race would have been over 20 minutes ago or more, and they would have been able to watch the real life NASCAR race that much more as well. So unfortunately, we had a bunch of single car spins that could have stayed green, and hopefully everyone learned their lesson on that deal for next time. So other than that, and we'll leave it at that, and we'll wrap it up and head to Chicagoland next week.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. What a hard racing race today. A lot of unfortunate cautions happening as well. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that will end it for us right here on the iCast Racing Network, powered by iRacing. And again, we want to thank a couple people, SDK Gaming, for their awesome overlays. We would also like to thank Sim Racing Hub.
Sim Racer.
Yep.
Sim Racer Hub. Yep.
Yep, simracerhub.com. Make sure you guys go check them out for all of your iRacing statistic needs, and definitely a really good website to use. So go check them out. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us today here on the iRacing Network. On behalf of Rhea Ferris and myself, Mike Taylor, this is the iCast Racing Network signing off. Have a wonderful evening and happy time zones. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
This has been a production of the iCast Racing Network, powered by iRacing. Thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for notifications for all of our live events right here on YouTube and Twitch. For would like to thank SDK Gaming for their production overlays that makes this event enjoyable. Until next time, happy time zones.